Going back to Hydra, the club that everyone was at on Sunday night, the crowd is still in chaos as the Seattle police have started to arrive in order to induce order. As a reminder, recently, Gonzago has been shot. Gonzago was shot during a performance, and although Sunny doesn't think she had shot him, she does realize that she, after killing the music critic who had insulted her boyfriend from many years past, she found herself in possession of a sniper rifle with a note that said, "Now do me." She opted not to shoot Gonzago. However, somebody apparently shot Gonzago for her. And with sniper rifle in hand, she returned back to the VIP room. Meanwhile, in the VIP room, for whatever reason, Reese has had a, one would say, reaction to the shooting that took place of Gonzago and has attacked the Bruja representative of the Domain of Seattle, Bob, aka Bruja Bob, aka former lead singer of the grunge band Savoy Truffle, who was watching the performance along with everyone else. In addition to that, Naran was involved in a somewhat seductive romantic situation with the woman that he met in the VIP lounge, who calls herself Rachel. And as he is involved in a intimate moment of sorts, not so intimate that it is inappropriate for public, but in that moment, Miranda returns into the room after a strange encounter with a gentleman by the name of Gustafson, who claimed to have worked for the Tremere at some point, who had been at some point also heavily burned and scarred. And during that confrontation, Silas was handed a photo album that Gustafson had indicated was the possession of William the Black, that, as he put it, quote unquote, had paid for. And he is willing to, as one would say, come out of the cold in service of Clan Tremere, provided that a new prefect is found within the Domain of Seattle. So Silas and Miranda have come back into the VIP lounge and encountered this moment between Naran and Rachel. Also at the same time, Gabriel is having a moment of a stare down between the Toreador Primage and Sujatha, who made an indirect threat to one of his associates who owns the art gallery known as Twist in Queen Anne, which, might I add, also is currently doing a showing of Chicano protest art where Naran, one of Naran's pieces that he had done pre-embrace, is hanging. So just to give a overview on this, the sniper rifle has been given to Naran, and Reese is occupied at the moment in her blitz attack on Bruja Bob. I'm curious to know who would like to start first amongst all of these actions.
Yes, Silas, in his sage wisdom, says, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Mayhem, mostly.
See if there's any way to disentangle Reese from Bruja Bob. I may regret this, but
okay.
Yeah, I'm not getting in the middle of that.
This is why Gabriel has been as successful as he has over the years, because he realizes some things you can do and some things you do. And he is not going to get involved in the do of getting in between Reese and Bob. But Silas will. All right, so what are you doing, Silas?
To be very honest, I am going to go full on charge and try to bum rush Reese. No offense, and try to push her off of Bruja Bob to separate them. Which I know that might really be a bad idea, but well, Silas has got scars for a reason.
Do keep in mind that most of the audience here is in chaos, running about, trying to flee the theater, the Hydra. Some of them have actually gone past you all in the VIP lounge to get to the exit, which is towards the back.
Based on that,
pay attention to this situation. They're more of a pit. They think whatever's going on is people being knocked over. If they got up close, they would see what Reese is doing. However, most people are just trying to escape the gunfire.
Based on that description, if I may, Retro, step 1, close door. Step 2, charge.
Okay, so you're closing the door. Sunny, what are your actions at this time?
That's I guess that's my point of clarification too. So we are separated in some room. We can see the stage, so we saw Gonzago go down.
You had seen him go down in the television monitors that were in the lounge that were actually broadcasting internally the concert, and there is a large double doorway that you can go through to be able to go into the stage areas. So you would have to close, Silas is going to have to close the double doors in order to do that. You come in through a different direction, by the way, which was back near the exit, because you were not going through the main audience holding the sniper rifle, which Naran is currently holding as the police are on their way.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little confused about where the setup. I thought we were off on the side of the stage.
You are on this. You are off.
Okay.
The audience area. There's the stage, and then there's the audience area, and then there is towards the back of the area, the VIP area where you guys had been. But it's not the VIP lounge, which was actually on the second floor, where currently there is the dead body of Sylvester.
Right. Yeah, because I specifically had left there to go look for my palsies. I don't know that I can, with everything that's going on, and my concern is more like we needed to get out of here, talking to Naran, and I'm not appreciating what's her name? Rebecca?
Rachel, but
Rachel. Yeah, Rachel's gonna get on my nerves if she doesn't back the F up, because it's none of her business, and I don't know who she is. So I don't know that I would have seen Reese charge Bob.
You didn't.
Yeah, so I guess I'm like all about Rachel, kind of growl at her and get pretty intense and just say, back up, this is not any of your business.
She's happy to step away with her hands up. Gabriel, Sujatha is using this moment to make her way towards the exit. She's keeping an eye on you, and she's smirking as she walks away. And before she goes through the exit, she waves a little taw towards you. So just to make sure I understand that, you flipped her which finger? Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that that was specified. Okay, so Naran, what are you doing as Rachel is stepping away and Sunny is growling towards Rachel in a threatening manner?
I need to hide the weapon. And
that's a good idea.
The first place I think it can go is our car.
Sure.
But what's on my mind is, where is our charge, Miranda, in all this chaos?
Miranda is still towards where Silas had come up, walking in through from the main area. She hasn't left anywhere. Silas made it very clear he wanted her to stay put. And in a remarkable moment of obeyance, she has decided to stay right there and is not moving forward.
Wow.
I guess she has decided to follow the commands of her uncle.
Don't you say it. Go ahead.
So Uncle Silas told her to stay, and she is not going anywhere.
I'm never let this down.
So I believe you were bum rushing.
Yeah, I'm kicking impotence. I'm not trying to hurt. I'm just trying to separate at this point, if all possible. I'm going to use brawl for this, I'd imagine. If I can use grappling as well, if I have to pull off, like I said, I know this may be a bad move, but I'm going to try it.
Now, before you do that, let's actually go to Reese, who's having a bit of a moment. So, Reese, you are on top of Bob, and you are biting down onto his neck, and you are feeding off of him at this moment. You are in the zone, as it were. And as a reminder for everyone on a meta level, Reese is not fed for 2 days, or at least the 2 evenings that she has been here within Seattle. This is the first time that you have seen her take any vitae in, even from the orange tang at the Ventrude haven known as Durandal. So I'm curious, Reese, you are getting an opportunity now to feed, and not just feed, but in a preferable and pleasurable way. So, having said that, I would like you to
excuse me,
roll-
leading the witness.
I would like you to roll your combat roll and make sure
Yes.
you're getting the opportunity. You're not fighting him off. You're trying to,
And you want me to roll
let's see. I will
because I don't have points in brawl. I have points in survival.
Why don't we actually just use the points on actual your strength specifically, because you're holding on to him.
Strength and just straight strength check.
Yeah, yes, please.
All right, I get 1 die.
That's fine.
I got a 4.
Okay, so that's not a problem per se. Go ahead, Silas. Let's see what you do.
Again, not trying to hurt, just break it up, so to speak.
Understood.
4 successes, 1 is on the hunger die.
You managed to throw Reese off of Bob, and as you do so, because Reese has a hold of his neck.
Yeah.
The momentum of throwing her has effectively ripped Bob's throat completely open, and Reese is being thrown against the wall and is starting to come to her senses, realizing what's going on, but she's still a little bit unclear as to what's going on. But meanwhile, Bob is clear what's going on in the fact that he's bleeding out by his throat. And so he's grabbing a hold of his neck at this time. And as this is happening, because Gabriel is the one person not involved in anything too nutty, Gabriel, you can hear sirens are starting to approach, and not 1, not 2, but probably a half dozen of Seattle's finest, and I'm not talking coffee, are arriving in the outside area, including the parking lot where the car is. Where, might I add, Naran is walking to with a sniper rifle.
That sounds like Naran's problem, not mine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so I am gonna leave and just walk back to the hotel. Don't need the car.
okay. So as you start walking,
All this mess here is not my problem at this point. I'm out.
sure. And as you start, and you straighten out your jacket and you start walking towards the front door. And as you start going through the front exit, as opposed to the back exit towards everyone, a curious thing occurs.
Nope, don't like that.
Miranda says to you in a very straightforward, non-sarcastic way, "May I walk with you?"
Of course.
"Thank you." And she reaches out and actually reaches out for your arm and walks calmly with you straight ahead, right out the front door with you.
Sounds great.
Naran, as you are getting to the doorway, you look outside and you can see that the parking lot is being blocked by police cars that are starting to line the area. It looks like they're basically waiting to come in force, probably about 8 or 10 police officers all at once. Perhaps more will actually come in, but their actions are first to be able to block off the parking lot and the remaining perimeter before they enter in. While you're standing in the doorway holding a sniper rifle.
I need to ditch the weapon. Closest place I can put the weapon that's out of sight. Behind a counter, behind a door, under something, under a carpet or a rug.
Okay.
I need to ditch the gun.
There is a bar area. You could tuck it under there. There's a large planter that you could put it there as well. There is a broom closet if you wanted to throw it into the broom closet.
We'll do that. Closet is fine.
Okay.
Get away from the weapon.
Okay.
Preferably to closest one of the companions here.
Certainly. And as you throw as you're bringing the rifle into the closet, you do see that there on the floor is a windbreaker jacket, specifically the windbreaker of the young 20-year-old man that had been previously talking with Gabriel before the beginning of the concert. Would you do me a favor and please roll wits and streetwise, please?
Wits and streetwise. Why, of course. It's 5 dice. 2 10s and a 9 and a 6.
As you start to set down the rifle, it occurs to you, you should wipe down the rifle that has both your and Sonny's fingerprints on it.
Since I'm in the broom closet, I look for some sort of cleaning wipe or towel or something.
Sure, there is.
Starting to panic. I'm in a hurry. Grab the closest thing that I can use to wipe it off.
Okay, Sonny, Rachel is making her way out to the door, making her way out into the outside parking lot area based off of your threat.
Oh, okay.
Would you please do a wits and streetwise roll for me, please?
Okay. 1 success.
So as she's leaving, she looks very self-satisfied and smug, like she's gotten away. Silas, you're standing at the foot of Bob, holding onto his neck, who is bleeding out.
Well, fuck.
You have a couple of options to do on this, actually. Even though it's bleeding out, you could potentially lick the wound. And granted, that may seem odd, but that will close the wound.
He will do it right now. This is a prime agent of the city that we're visiting. If he wants to snap the photo of it, he's going to get pissed. But so yeah, he'll bend over and say, "Hold on," and lick the wound close if he can.
Okay, Reese, what are you doing Now that you're realizing now that as you're coming to that you attacked Bob. The good news, however, if you want to say, is that you've actually regained the blood that you had lost previously the past couple of nights. And this is a flavor that you particularly find pleasant. So, and now you're seeing Silas bending down over Bruja Bob. You're not 100% sure how he got on the floor, but you're not afraid to wager a guess that maybe when you lost focus on things, you may have done something towards Mr. Bob.
Yeah. Oh my God, is he okay?
Is it?
Silas is licking the wound.
Well, that's one way of. Did I do that?
I think you did. We need to move now.
Shit. Yeah. Shit.
Oh, as a side note, on the mechanic level, Reese now has all of her magic stones back in case something comes up in the next couple of scenes. Meanwhile, Gabriel, you are walking out amongst all of the people going nutty, and as you're looking around, you can see that a couple of police officers are coming up to you to be able to wave you down. What do you do?
Stop for them. I'm a responsible citizen.
Absolutely. And here's where something gets very interesting. They come over and their first question is, what are you doing? Let's see some identification. Put your hands where we can see you. And Miranda says to them in a very quiet voice, "Sir, we don't know what's occurring here." And then the police officers get very quiet for a moment, and then they put down their hands and say, "We're sorry. We didn't mean to startle you." And Miranda says, "That's fine. We understand there's a lot going on. We were just trying to be able to make it to our car. Is it okay if we go?" And after a few moments, the police officers say, "Yes, absolutely. We're sorry to slow you down. Please, make your way to safety. Thank you for being patient with us." And Miranda says, "Thank you. Good night."
These are the kindred you're looking for.
And she looks over at Gabriel and says, "Shall we go?"
Fine.
Where are you leaving her? Right now, your cars are all in the parking lot right next to the nightclub, and so they're not going to be able to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. Can we see Naran from our vantage point?
Naran's still in the building.
Okay, he hasn't made it out yet. We're gonna just head towards the nearest street, maybe get a block away, and then Uber.
Are you going to wait for the rest of the group, or are you going to go by yourself?
I love them all dearly, and by love them all dearly, you don't give two shits. So,
Sure. Where is your
hey,
destination?
my job is to keep Miranda safe. I'm the one doing the mission. You all keep futzing around with whatever's going on back there.
I know, attacking people, handling weapons, all
Incriminating evidence.
killing music critics.
I've got my eyes on the prize.
Dogs and cats sleeping together, mass hysteria.
All right, we get it. So, what is the final destination?
We'll go back to the hotel for now.
Okay, the Four Seasons. Excellent.
I will send a group text saying, "Hey, I headed back to the hotel with Miranda," so everybody's like aware of what's at least going on, so they don't start panicking or wondering where she is.
Sure. Sonny, you and Reese get a text saying, from Gabriel that they're headed back to the Four Seasons.
And I obviously know Naran decided to leave because I had passed up.
Well, Naran was in the broom closet at this moment and is coming out.
Yeah.
Naran,
No,
when you
but-
come out, you can see that Sonny and Reese are looking at their phones. Silas does not have a phone.
Check my phone.
I'm sorry?
Check my phone.
What phone?
Check my phone.
I'm sorry, what phone?
Yeah.
What phone?
What? Oh, did she lift your phone?
Oh.
Sorry,
Yeah.
that was Gina.
Damn it.
Silas, you're looking over at first. You can see that the ladies are checking, their phones that have just twitched, and you can see Naran checking his pockets. Meanwhile, Bob is coming up and he's feeling his throat going, what the fuck just happened? He's looking at you, Silas, and he looks over.
Misunderstanding. So things got weird. Offer him a hand up.
Things got weird.
And they're hitting this bad in the throat since Black Flag concert.
What?
Never
Never mind.
Reese, what are you doing? Well, as you can see Bob coming to his feet.
I'm actually very intently watching the exchange with Silas and the fact that Silas is like covering for me. And I just kind of give him sort of a very terse nod.
He kind of just gives you a look and shrugs his shoulders to barely perceptible and keeps on trying to get Bob to get moving. Come on, I know it's bad. Time to go. We need to get. We have some police out front. I think it's time for us to go ahead and leave as soon as possible.
And as you guys are trying to make your way out, as he walks by Sonny, go ahead, Sonny.
I'm not leaving quite yet. There's something I want to do before we get mobbed with cops and
Sure.
come and leave.
That's fine. But as he walks by Sonny, he goes, "No reunion tour."
Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
No idea. It'll be fine. It's just a flesh wound, sort of deep flesh wound.
Silas, you're stepping outside with Reese and Bob and Naran.
Yeah, I'm trying to herd everyone out. The one thing I kind of mentioned is that we can't get out this way. A real quick note to storyteller. Wasn't there talk about that this area might have been built on the old city?
It most definitely has been. The downtown area, specifically mostly the Pioneer Square that's still left, was built over the old Seattle that had been destroyed by a fire back in 19th century.
Okay. Just something I want to kind of keep in mind, considering how I know might be in that old city to this day.
No might about it. That is definitely would be.
Possible escape route wouldn't be so good for me, but if necessary. All right. So
As you
let's
step outside in the parking lot, you can see that the cops have blocked off the parking lot. So you're going to have to leave the car there and go by foot.
That's fine.
Sonny, you said you were up to something, I believe.
Before, obviously, I think we need to get out of there too, because I think one of the things I said to Naran was I felt like we were being set up. I want to try to use celerity to check out the body quickly, like zip to the body, check it out. Pardon?
Upstairs, you mean the VIP lounge?
No, not. I don't care about him. He's dead. Gonzago.
So you're going to make your way up to the front.
Yeah, I want to see. I don't know. I'm not a CSI. I don't even watch those shows. But I just like, where do you get hit? How do you get hit? Was it
sure?
Is it a bullet?
Down, by the way, the curtain came down.
Okay.
Shooting, so you'll have to go behind the curtain to do that, and it's a safe bet there's probably police behind that curtain right now because you can hear a commotion behind it.
Okay. Well, can I use fleetness?
To go behind the curtain?
Yeah, well, just to zip, if I'm understanding this correctly, but just to get there fast, see what I see, and zip back.
Sure. I'm not going to be a stickler about this, but I will say
Okay.
you're getting a brief glimpse of the behind the stage, and you can see, yes, they are all surrounding both EMTs and the police are surrounding somebody who is dead, who's laying on the floor with on their back in a pool of blood. And although you can't see directly, it's very clear it was a headshot,
Okay.
because that's the only area that you cannot see, and the rest of the area, the body looks okay. But the way that they're covering up or obfuscating of sorts to the head, it looks like what's left of the head is probably received the wound.
Okay. Out the back of the head, or through, like, or is the mask at all?
Mask has been shattered,
Okay.
flying in little bits about it.
Okay. Cool. Then I will try to get out.
And as you're walking out, the bodyguard of Gonzago rushes up to you and goes, "Hey, you're Sonny, right?"
Yeah.
And he reaches out and he's got a note.
Seriously. Grabs a note.
And he walks up and says, "Be seeing you."
Okay. I'm gonna stuff the note in my pocket for right now. I
Sure.
don't have time for his shenanigans.
Gabriel, the Uber now arrives, and Miranda is silent the entirety of the drive back to the Four Seasons, just staring off.
Fine by me.
And then she looks over at you, and she's thinking about something about you.
Can I answer something?
I think we need to stop at Durandal, if we may. Please.
Fine. Yes, of course. I will to ask the Uber driver to reroute. Not concerned about that.
Okay.
I do have my unlicensed weapon on me, right?
Of course you do.
Okay.
You do. So does Silas, and so does Sonny.
Excellent. I will ask her to be careful and say, you seem a little unsettled by tonight's events.
No, I think some things have been settled.
Excellent.
Just a few moments. And
Can I make a roll to pick up on what she's laying down there?
sure.
I mean, I was in the room, but I was kind of in the middle of it with Sujasa, so I'm not sure I picked up on the Naran Miranda bit.
Okay. What do you want to roll on that?
Why don't we just do like perception empathy? Empathy a skill in this iteration. Insight, perception, insight.
Please.
Yeah. Well, that was not my ideal choice, but hey, here we go. 3 successes. So
Two things have obviously occurred. The first is whatever feelings that Miranda might have had for Naran are gone. The other element, though, is instead of becoming extremely emotional about it, it seems to have prompted something within her that might be surprising, in that she has seemed to be thinking about the implications of things, and in a strange way, she seems now to be acting more like a Ventru than she has ever acted previously in your presence. And as you think about this, and we'll do a bit of a time jump on this. And as you think about this, the Uber pulls up in front of Durandal, and she moves relatively quickly to get, out of the car and goes into the house. She's in there for maybe about 5-10 minutes.
All right, I just, in case it matters, I'm gonna wait at the front door. I'm not gonna put any pressure on her or crowd her, but I'm gonna make sure I'm close enough. If something goes wrong, I can sort of respond.
Mm-hmm. And she comes back, and she's stuffing clothes in a bag, like a suitcase. And what's interesting about it, it looks like she's stuffing William's clothes into the bag, as opposed to most of her own kind of more colorful things. Now she's grabbing a couple of dress shirts. She's grabbed a pair of men's slacks. She's grabbed several ties. She's tucked them into the bag and says, "Let's go."
All right. I'm not going to press into this. Look, as long as she's not giving me any difficulty and keeping her safe, I'm just going to go with the flow in this one.
No, not at all. And if anything, that's more out of character.
It is, but I'm not going to. There are battles to pick, and letting her be quiet and reserved and do stupid stuff, as long as she's doing it safely under my eyesight, whatever.
Absolutely.
I'm by myself with Miranda. She's enough of a handful that I'm gonna ride the easy train while it's coming.
Sure. So the other group, because the party is currently split, you are walking through Pioneer Square, and I'm curious to know where you guys are going. You can see there that there's a couple of nightclubs, and then there's an Apollo Coffee there, and there's a particular location that looks like it's a meeting point for Seattle Underground tours there in Pioneer Square.
I was under the impression we were headed back to the hotel.
You're right.
That's what
You're not going to be able to walk to the hotel. You're going to need to be able to get an Uber, and in order to do that, you kind of got to get away from the scene of the crime, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
How close are we to Twist?
Twist is Queen Anne, so that's actually going to be about 15-20 minute drive, and then it's probably around, it's definitely after 11, probably about 11:30. So chances are the studio itself is closed for right now. However, as you're walking, you can see that there is a triangular park area next to an enclosed, it looks like maybe a bus stop. And in the middle of this triangular park area, and it's not very big, it's possibly, I want to say it's probably, easily maybe 20 square feet tops. It's not very large. There's a totem pole that's right next to the glass enclosure for the bus stop, which seems kind of out of place, but that's what's there.
I suppose I don't really feel like I need to look at this totem pole at this point. I'm just glad that I'm out of whatever situation had happened. So I'm looking up the Uber ride on my phone.
Sure.
While she's looking up the Uber ride, I'll be looking at the totem pole and telling the rest of the party what everything means in the totem pole.
Okay.
And this nervous tick.
You probably need to do a dice roll on this.
Sounds good. I believe it's academics, art history,
Yes.
and intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling. A 10 and a 9 and a 7.
Okay. This totem pole is wrong.
How?
Specifically, in case you're curious, the totem pole is of a national or a indigenous culture that shouldn't be there. Specifically, it's a Tinglet tribe totem pole. That is not the area of Seattle. Tinglets were not the Seattle tribe.
Of course. Can never lead anything where it belongs, can they?
Exactly.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
Do we have a ride?
It'll be
I'm
there
working
in 5
on
minutes
it.
or so, yeah.
I just remark a bit about how Native American art is usually taken away from its place of origin.
Yeah, it's very strange that there would
Some
be
sort of side rant.
yeah, Indian tribes, totem pole in a location where it shouldn't be, but it's obviously there, and it looks like it's been there for a while. And when you get up closer to it, I'm sorry, I'm making an assumption. Are you getting up close to it?
Yeah, I just want to learn as much as I can about it
Sure, it's
while the ride is being secured.
sure. There's a plaque there that says it's the chief of all women totem pole, and that it was designated as a National Historic Landmark in 1940, and that it originally was shipped from the Tingland people in Tongass Island, Alaska, and actually had been transported to the area in 1899. And back in 1938, the totem pole had been damaged and had to be replaced. And there was a United States Forest Service restoration project that actually created it. And in 1972, it was restored and repainted. And as I said, in 1977, it was designated a National Historic Landmark along with Pioneer Building and Pergola and Pioneer Square.
And if there's waiting time before the ride gets there, just want to do a quick sketch of it to commit it to memory.
Who's with you? I know that Reese is staring at her phone. Silas is trying to hold Bob up. Sonny's coming up because Sonny was walking.
I thought, yeah. Silas is with us, right?
Silas is currently holding up Bob, who is not feeling very well because Bob has lost about 3 to 4 points of blood because some miscreant, some scamp, if you would, attacked Bob out of nowhere. He doesn't have a full recollection of what occurred.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, I was like, maybe he needs to feed off of, somebody.
Okay.
Little blood bond.
The Uber driver. Uber Eats, guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Brilliant.
Actually,
go ahead.
Oh, I was wondering, is Naran talking about any of this like out loud?
Yeah, I would be.
Just because it would spark a little bit of curiosity with Reese because I've got points in archaeology.
Right.
Can I do a roll about it just in case we want to have more fun history facts?
Sure.
Apple cat me. All right, let me roll here.
Because all viewers appreciate their little moment of lonely people history when they watch our videos.
2 successes.
This totem pole is wrong.
Yes.
It's not just wrong in the fact that it's the wrong tribe. the figures are laid out wrong. They're not done in a way that makes sense to you. Now, granted, this is a replica of what had been previously created back in 1790 when it was originally carved,
Mhm.
but the layout of the figures within the totem pole are inherently wrong. And looking at it is unpleasant. Please take a magic stone away.
Done.
Okay.
I don't know what these stones are, but I don't like them.
Does
Dan-
Reese look like she's having a moment, like a negative reaction?
She looks like she's slightly wincing as she looks at it, as
Huh.
the totem pole looks down upon all of you. Like she feels like an unsavory presence associated with it. Sunny, what are you doing?
I do not have points in archaeology. Probably just like waiting for the Uber to get here. So I'm gonna pull that note out of my pocket because I'm like, okay, what is this all about?
The note says, "You promised." And that's when the Uber pulls up. Back at the Four Seasons.
Hold on. Before we roll into the Uber, I'm gonna snap a photo of the totem pole on my phone.
Very well. Back at the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
Miranda, is continuing to carry her clothes, and once you're actually up in the suite, she has gone into the room that she had previously had, and you can hear rustling going on in there.
I'm gonna go knock on the door.
It's open.
May I come in?
It is your suite.
It's your privacy. And I'll step in.
Miranda has thrown away all of her clothes that she had before, and she has been laying out and ironing the dress shirt and the slacks. She has kept one of her belts, and she's looking at the ties, matching them together, and she's it looks like she's laying her clothes out.
Gabriel's a pretty well-dressed guy who knows how to put himself together. Is she ironing this correctly? Can I give her a pointer or two and be like, that's cashmere, don't do that or whatever. I don't know. I know nothing about clothes, so assume Gabriel knows.
And she's listening to you, and she's nodding and taking your advice as actually she's nodding, trying to iron, and she's looking, trying to do it and following your directions on it. And as she's doing it, she says, I've never had to do this for myself before.
Most of us don't have to do much for ourselves when we start out.
I'll get it.
I have no doubt about your capabilities. Might I ask you a question of a emotional nature?
And she looks at you. There does not seem to be any emotions on her face.
That doesn't mean she doesn't have them.
True.
Can I take it your silence is a yes?
She nods.
Your, shall we call it an appropriate Venturou term, business-like shift in mannerisms, would that be due to Naran's tedious, whatever that bullshit was? I don't even know.
I I think I owe you an apology.
I don't think so.
No, I do believe I do. I realize that you were cut off a cloth that I intentionally tried to rub the wrong way. Because I'll admit, it amused me.
Nah. We are a group of predators attempting to coexist. Conflict is natural. No apology needed, but it's graciously accepted.
Predators. As I understand it, William's going to be back tomorrow night, and then all of you will be released from any debts that you may have. And
Supposedly.
well,
Never that simple in kindred society, though.
no, it's not.
Much like a offer from the devil, there's always a hook on the other end of the fishing line.
Well, I do appreciate it.
Of course.
She takes a look back and said, well, it'll be good enough for Mrs. Rigby, I guess.
And what are we engaging Mrs. Rigby for, I suppose?
Oh, I'm just saying it probably wouldn't pass, my grandfather Aurelius's eye, but
Most things pass his eyes because they're clouded with visions of the past, not the future.
to answer your question, Gabriel, I realize my place now.
And what place is that? I'm curious. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, Miranda. You're under no obligation to confide or share with me if you don't want to.
I'm Clan Ventru.
I am aware. I'm Clan Toreador.
Well, I wasn't aware before, but now I totally understand my place.
Understood. Well, I would like to help you achieve this newfound place and provide you support.
What do you mean? And she folds her arms and is listening.
Well, all pretensions aside, I, much like you, deliberately rubbed somebody's cloth the wrong way.
She's reaching over to the hotel desk there and has pulled up a hair tie. Go on.
And, well, I am capable of handling myself. It's what my clan uses me for. I am not a Toreador at my core. I exist in friction with my blood, which is a rather uncomfortable feeling, to feel your innards crawling to escape at all moments of the day.
Are you talking about Sujatha?
Among other things. You might have gathered I am not much of an artist. I am not given to, well, much of anything other than hurting people.
Don't worry. Neither is she.
Yes, but unlike her, I don't have the power to enforce my perception of art on others.
So you want me to help you against the cunt?
I suspect as you test your newfound desires to learn your place and then exceed it, as all Venturer want to do. No Venturer is happy being shackled to their place. Would be a poor clan of Ventru that remained in one role without attempting to accumulate power. The rest of us would actually have something to do besides politics. We don't want kindred getting wind of that reality. You could use some help, and I'm intending to stay in Seattle for a while after I'm done with my business with William.
Do you know why you're here?
Because, you know what? I don't. I'd like to pretend I'm intelligent and I've figured this all out, but frankly, I am just rolling from moment to moment, attempting not to get iced along the way.
How many Toreador do you think exist within the west coast of the United States?
Quite a few, I would suspect, though frankly, I try to avoid them. They're obnoxious. 60.
The number's a little higher. It's 22. How many Bruja do you think there are?
I would guess marginally more.
Not marginally.
Hmm.
How many Ventru do you think there are?
2.
No. 3.
Seems poor planning on William's part.
Clan Ventru needs to protect its lines. And that's what I am. I wasn't the first of William's children. I'm just the one that has lasted.
Yes.
Good night.
Have a good night. And I'll exit and shut the door behind me.
So as you all are driving back to the Four Seasons, Bob is still very, very woozy in the back with you guys.
Bob, you need to stop off at any point to get a bite.
I can nosh.
I might be able to assist. I'm a little peckish myself.
Holy shit! You attacked me!
Me?
He's looking at Reese.
Oh.
What?
What? You attacked me! What the fuck I do?
Can we discuss this when in other company right now?
And he looks at the driver. Oh. He's doing that at Reese.
And Reese is just kind of looking very embarrassedly away and then just staring out the window.
Like I said, Bob, shit got weird.
No, you're right. It got weird. You know, I swear to God, for just a second, I thought that guy's eyes color changed.
Did it now?
It's kind of a blur. I'm not 100% sure.
What color do you think they changed to?
And he's mouthing at Reese.
Reese is not looking in his direction.
he's
Reese
now-
is looking out the window.
No, he's looking at Sunny.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Naran, what are you doing?
We are en route in the car. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I am buried in my sketchbook,
Sure.
recreating the incorrect totem pole.
So looks over at that book and kind of thinks for a moment and goes, hey, wait, I got a book myself. Finally thinks about it now and goes over to the side, picks up that photo album that Gustafsson gave him.
Silas pulls out a small photo album. It's about this size and is going through the number of photos within it. There's probably about 8 or so in there. Describing them, they seem to be the same person in every single photo, in slightly different poses, as if they're standing there consistently. And now Silas reacts by, kind of clutching his beard for a moment with a strange look in his eye.
Fuck. Naran?
What is it?
Naran is, of course, staring at his sketchbook, buried deep in his drawing of the totem.
Naran, put the fucking pencil down for a moment, would you?
Right.
So, do I recognize this individual, or does Silas recognize this individual at all?
You do not.
Hands the picture, has the photo album, shows it to Naran. He goes, "Do you recognize this gentleman by any chance?"
The photos look like they're Dr. Thesinger. And each one of them has a date at the bottom. They're Polaroids, and it looks like he's just standing for a portrait. And every couple of months or so, starting back from 2019.
Yeah, looking at 2019. It gets more interesting as you get further along.
I will let you as the player actually describe it because you're looking at it.
In the picture to the left of this Dr. Thesinger, there is a face appearing over. It looks female. Ron, this looks like a ghost.
So when Naran, Reese, and Sunny walk into the suite, where are you, Gabriel?
In true dramatic fashion, I am sitting in the recliner. I assume we have like wings with like a kind of common area in the middle.
Yes.
I'm in a recliner, and as I come in, I like turn to face the door. Like for extra dramaticness, like my pistol's on the table nearby and stuff like that.
Oh.
I mean, all Toreadors are goth kids at heart, so like this is what we do. We're all drama kids who just never really made it anywhere else.
So as Naran, Reese, and Sunny walk in, the large
Bob.
in the center turns around and
Is Bob there?
Bob,
I have to say it, but what about Bob? Yeah.
are out taking care of business.
Oh. Okay.
And as mentioned, Gabriel has his semi-automatic pistol nearby at the coffee table at his feet as he's looking at the three of you coming in.
I don't think they're casting for Bond villains currently, but you're doing a great job. And just kind of shuffles past into, off into a room or something.
I am now aware of what Reese is, so I'm cool with whatever at this point. I ain't getting anywhere near that. If anybody here can mouth off to Gabriel, Reese is on safe land, so we're good. So,
Everything okay?
So.
why suppose I should ask you that question?
No, it's not fucking okay. Like,
Alright.
we just got set up. We got set up. Did
You got set up.
No,
Oh,
we got set up.
pretty sure none of us were aside from Naran over there, none of us were running around with a rifle that might have been used to commit a murder on stage in front of witnesses.
Yeah. It wasn't that gun. That gun didn't get shot. I didn't take a shot. And the shot happened, but it wasn't with that gun.
Oh, trust me, if it was that stage, that gun was used enough to implicate you in some way. If they had that level of foresight to plan for that, I assure you they planned.
Maybe.
Naran, what happened with Miranda?
I have no idea.
Really?
She was with Silas.
I barely saw her at all at the venue.
Do you remember the story You might not know this because you're not from where I am, but over in New York area, we have a story about a Tremere, actually, interestingly enough, who was a vampire and died of a broken heart. And an entire chantry devoted themselves to research about this bizarre phenomenon. And eventually they all just up and vanished. Of course, some of us think the Bruja got them, but you never know.
Stories.
Speaking of broken hearts, you should go talk to Miranda.
I think Miranda's fine.
Oh, yeah, we went to Durandal. She's wearing a suit and her hair up now. That girl is not fine.
Miranda?
Mm-hmm. She is currently in that position where if she were anyone else or a Toreador, she would be writing power ballads about the man who done wronged her, as Silas would say.
Rachel ambushed me, and
Yeah, who was that?
I don't know.
You don't know her?
I don't know who Rachel is.
Wow, you seem really friendly with somebody you don't know.
That's true.
What if she had been a Toreador? You know, I hear their kisses have magic powers. You should have been more careful.
Where's Miranda?
In the room.
Yeah, I gotta check this out.
I'm just waiting. This is going to be glorious.
All right. Grab my sketchbook. I'm gonna go to her door.
Do you mind if Sunny tags along?
Feel free.
Okay.
Knock on the door. Miranda.
The door opens and it looks like Miranda is wearing one of the plush bathrobes of the hotel, as if she had just taken a shower, and she looks at the two of you and says, "Hello, Sonny."
Yep. Miranda.
We come in.
Get out.
Wait, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sonny, please come in. Naran, get out.
What?
Get out.
Fine.
What did he do? I'm walking in with her away from. What's going on?
The Toreador drama kit heart is so full right now.
Once Sonny walks in, she closes the door right on your face, Naran.
Fine.
Well, you got it bad.
As Naran, I assume, turns around, he's not going to stand there in front of the door like an idiot.
I don't know. Is Naran going to stand
No,
there?
no. I will.
Gabriel will just like tip a glass to him, and
I
then
gave you my heart and you gave me nothing.
you gave it away on Christmas Day, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Go get a boombox.
I will go find a seat.
Depeche Mode. No, Joy Division. Joy Division.
Jeez, Naran is walking back.
And I will.
Probably with an undefinable look on his face.
Oh, it's definable. There's an entire movie is dedicated to that look. Gabriel, for the first time you've ever seen him, has the biggest shit-eaten grin on his face he's ever had.
Silas, you come in to the suite main foyer.
He's got a new leather jacket, by the way.
Nice jacket.
Thanks. Looks over. Is Reese? Are you in the main room still?
No, I've gone off to one of the bedrooms or something.
Reese, okay?
Seems fine.
Naran, wanted to talk to you about these pictures. Can I have a word with you out in the balcony?
Yeah, who gave you those pictures?
Maybe you should stay away from ledges, Naran. They can be dangerous.
Just need to talk, a little privacy. That's what I want to talk to you about. Shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
Thank you, my friend. Always good. After you. Pump and potence if necessary. Grab him by the throat when we get out on the balcony and lift him up. Now, let's talk about manners. First of all, if I can roll for it if you'd like, but I'm gonna grab him Naran by the scruff of the neck and lift him up. I don't take to that Uncle Silas thing very well, but all of a sudden now, I'm starting to see the benefits of it. In addition to everything else we had to deal with that girl, you fuck up like this.
Hey, Reese, where is that lupine blood?
Oh no, am I smelling it?
No, you couldn't. I mean, you couldn't smell it through the closed refrigerator, could you?
I'm gonna start sniffing around for this blood now.
Yeah, by the bar there in the main foyer. You couldn't possibly smell that in the closed refrigerator, could you? That has to be a mistake.
I mean, clearly, obviously. I'm having a night.
Sure.
I'm having a night. I'm having a night.
You're having a night. I mean, yeah. Meanwhile, in Sunny, you're speaking with Miranda and
Yeah.
She looks over. How's Bob?
He's gonna be fine. He's fine. I've seen worse.
Are
you? Yeah, I'm kind of pissed, but that's actually not totally unusual. But you look amazing. But that is a totally different look for you.
I just need to take a shower and kind of wash certain things off of me.
What's going on? You do not seem like yourself.
I'm being exactly what I believe I'm supposed to be.
Who fucking told you that? You be who you are. What was wrong with the Miranda I met, 2 days ago? Nothing wrong with her. I mean, if this is who you feel like you really are, then excellent.
What was in the VIP lounge?
Oh, some asshole I had business with for a long time. Took care of it.
And she goes over to what looks like a wallet. It's still a pink wallet that's plastic with like Karopi on it. So it's still hers. And she opens it up and she zips it open and slides you a $20 bill.
What's that for?
Polishing your boots.
To get.
And you look down and you realize that after curb stomping.
Oh.
And she looks over. Thank you. I'm a little tired.
No worries.
Good night.
Cool. I'm serious though about expectations. Like, whatever. Be who you want to be. Not what they expect. People are more important than fucking rules. But take care of yourself. We'll be out there.
One more night.
Yeah, we'll see.
When you come out, Gabriel is still sitting on the recliner with this big grin on his face, leaning back, looking at the direction, I assume,
Oh yeah.
the balcony. Reese is looking like she's looking through the wet bar, or making, just looking through things, but she's not being very specific. It's as if she's not looking at something. She's intentionally not looking in a particular direction. It's in a way. And no idea where Naran and Silas are.
So you guys look really busy, and I'm sure there's tons of stuff going on. But do you care that we got set up? And do you want to know who we got set up by? Because I want to know.
You got set up.
No, we got set up.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Elaborate.
If that was a setup for everybody here, that was a pretty personalized to you setup, Sonny. The guy you want to kill in a room for you with an artist you have a connection with to do something they want you to do.
Not untrue. But we travel together.
You were the only one really invited. We were just there because we were your entourage.
Nah, all the tickets were included. Like, they know we're all guarding Miranda. I mean, it's not a big kindred secret.
But I've been to enough art shows as a member of somebody's entourage to know what an entourage looks like, and we were your entourage.
There seems to be a draft, Sonny.
A draft. Where do I feel cool air come from? The
Balcony.
balcony?
Yeah, it looks like the glass doors are like slightly ajar.
Hey,
What's up?
guys.
Oh, Silas is just killing Naran. It's fine.
Who's doing what now?
Whoa! What, Naran? What did you
Meanwhile,
do to everybody today?
on the balcony, I believe Silas and Naran are continuing their conversation.
Oh no, I'm going out there because you said
as soon as
Yeah.
he removes his hand from my throat and I can speak, I will tell Silas, you don't know what it's like to not have a clan anymore.
And you don't know what I'm fucking capable of. I suggest.
I'm having a pretty good idea of that now.
Well, everyone just thinks I'm the friendly fucking hick here. You want to find out how they're wrong? Go apologize to the girl. In the meantime, and he shoves the album in his hand. This Gustafsson, Damon Gustafsson, said we could find him at the marketplace. Figure it out. And there's slams the book in his chest and walks away. You're lucky, friend. Real lucky. Looks over and stops for a minute and goes, stops and nods. Hello, Sonny. Walks by her, back into the room.
okay.
The house phone rings, Gabriel.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Darcy. This is the front desk.
I assumed as much. What do you want?
Your dinner reservations will be ready in approximately 8 minutes, as requested. I believe it was a table for 6.
All right.
David,
Yes.
I'm disheveled and a bit out of sorts. I go and find my sketchbook,
Of
and
course.
I rip out, I think, the second or third page in it. The page that was after the initial sketch of the group from the airport on that first night.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to Miranda's door, and I knock on the door, and I slip the page underneath the door and just go back to my space. The drawing is the drawing I drew for her on that first night at Arendelle, trying to capture Miranda, that wild, energetic nature when we first met her in the sketch. And I just slip it underneath. It's not the Miranda that's now, it's the Miranda that we first met in that first moment. And I remember sketching it just to mark that moment. I slip it under the door. And I go to wherever I'm staying for the night.
Before he leaves, I'll stop him. We actually have dinner reservations. So
With who?
I actually believe Miranda made them, but it's for all of us. So should be a fun evening.
Fine.
We're doing what now?
Food, dinner reservations.
No, thanks.
I suspect it's not optional.
But you also just said you don't know who made the reservation, so
There is, by the way, a very upscale restaurant on the top of the building, which is two flights above the actual suite, which is very curious that would be open at this hour.
Somebody who knows about my reservation made this. I don't think it was any of you. Process of elimination says it was Miranda flexing her newfound muscles.
Really?
Let's ask her.
Feel free. I'm not going to put any unnecessary questions to that girl until she has a moment to add some distance between her actions and her feelings.
May I?
You can do what you want.
Nods and goes over the door and lightly knocks on it.
She opens,
Miranda, dear, it's Silas.
she opens the door. Hello.
Taking
Again,
her-
her hair is combed back.
Yeah.
Even though it's wet, she has not been able to finish blow drying it. She's still wearing the hotel bathrobe and the slippers, of course. She
Did,
has no makeup on, so she looks actually much younger than you had expected.
sorry to bother you, darling, but did you by any chance make dinner reservations for us?
No.
Turns back over to where Gabriel is and just kind of mouths the word Rigby. Huh.
Yeah, as good a guess as any. I say we let Naran go check it out first. It seems like he's having the night of his life.
Oh,
That was a joke. It was attempted. Never mind. I will go up there and check it out. You
And
go.
Miranda says, no, I think that would be an excellent idea. I think that Naran has all sorts of people he would like to meet during his brief visit in Seattle.
well,
Well,
as much as that sounds interesting.
I don't know who it is, but I'm sure he'll find a way to make himself acquainted. Good night. Closes the door.
Well, I guess it's dinner reservations for 5 now.
Plus our mystery guest makes 6.
are we gonna just leave her here by herself?
It's a good question.
Well, I'm staying anyway, so I might as well watch her. It's fine. You
I
guys
don't-
go.
I don't want to go. What's
Sorry.
the point?
I'll just go, and if it's important, I will send a group text, and you guys can come up or whatever. Like, I'm happy to run interference for a moment and see if this is necessary, or die if this is a lupine ambush at a fancy swanky restaurant on top of the Four Seasons.
Oh wait, that's you joking again, right?
Yes,
Kind of thought.
I didn't inherit the stand-up comedy version of the Toreador bloodline.
Right then. Are you, all kidding aside, do you want company?
You're welcome to join.
In case it is Rigby, any of y'all got a tie?
So the two of you go into the elevator. Sunny, what are you and Naran doing?
I talked to him about the whole Gonzago thing.
Why would they do this to you?
I don't know. I still can't help feeling like it's a little elaborate to just be like, I get that it was directed towards me.
Right.
And it was every move I made tempting me to go in there, box with the gift, note afterwards. But I still feel like there's a bigger, I don't know, something bigger going on here. That picture of yours in the gallery, like,
Right.
That's not random. Like, I thought it was random, but after all this fucking shit, that's not random, right?
As if they wanted us here.
Yeah. And as if they're trying to provoke us or put us in situations that I don't know. It's like mayhem.
William must have known what he was doing, though, when he brought us here.
That's true. And we all thought five of us
Right.
to babysit one. I mean, I know she's important.
If we can make it through until when William arrives, we're good, though.
And we can get out of here.
As long as Miranda's safe.
You know. Why is she so pissed at you?
I'm not really.
Is it the Rachel thing?
And as the elevator opens, you can see that there is a restaurant towards the towards the back of the area of the rooftop area. And the name of the restaurant is Chartreuse. And Chartreuse, there is nobody in the lobby whatsoever, and there's one person waiting there in the at the front desk. And he goes, "Mr. Darcy, your guest has arrived. He's in the center table."
Wonderful. Thank you.
He looks at Silas. He looks at the tie, smiles a little bit nervously, and then walks away.
Shall we?
Certainly.
Is normally, or looks like that most of the accoutrement in there is white, but the overall lights in the restaurant are up against the walls to be able to have primary color fill certain areas.
Okay.
It's a lovely restaurant, and in the center of it, it's very clear to see who the guest is because there's nobody else in the entirety of the restaurant. But there is a gentleman there that is with a light that's actually been brought over. That's actually not a colored light, it's a normal light. And it looks as if he's reading the newspaper and the New York Times specifically while he's smoking. And it's a gentleman wearing a white suit it looks African American, that looks like that he's just catching up on what appears to be the New York Times. As I said, he's smoking indoors, which, as I point out, is not allowed in the city of Seattle.
Right.
And he looks up and he stands. Please.
Nod and have a seat.
Same.
And he pulls out an iPad. You must forgive me for taking a few moments to catch up on the New York Times. The Seattle PI is no longer a physical property. It now is only online. Have you seen it this evening?
No.
And he turns on the iPad and he turns it around and it says, the Seattle PI headline says, Gonzago murdered.
Ah,
And he looks at it and he looks at you. Interesting front page story.
why it's on the front page.
Apparently, a disgruntled third-rate music critic shot a touring musical artist in the Pioneer Square neighborhood
Well, that's unfortunate.
right before security attempted to apprehend. Quite unfortunate the suspect was shot during the altercation, of course.
Indeed. Sorry, I didn't catch your name when we sat down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Mr. Guatemala might have indicated my name. My name is Vidok. I work for Mrs. Rigby. I investigate certain things for her whenever she is unable to attend.
I see. And what do we owe the pleasure of your investigation?
Well, it's not about this, actually. I was investigating it, but to be honest, it's rather a tidy conclusion to the entire Gonzago problem. Many of our friends felt he risked too much public attention with his musical career, and quite the discovery, he actually was a young man from Des Moines, Iowa.
Ah,
Well, we never really know who's out there.
I'm sorry, your name is Silas, correct?
Silas Lynch.
Hmm.
He offers his hand politely.
And he shakes it. Very good to meet you. I've heard quite a bit about you already. I apologize I did not have an opportunity to introduce myself at Ms. Sujatha's occurrence.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Mr. Darcy, I would not want to offend you by violating your public space or your private space, but this is a public hotel, and quite frankly, such things are watched. So the moment you arrived, I knew you were here.
You're fine. I take no offense.
Thank you. None was intended. But that's actually not why we're having this discussion. So, as I said, I investigate things for Mrs. Rigby due to certain limitations of her clan. And during my review of the surveillance footage of the Hydra, I noticed you, Mr. Lynch. And then he pulls over the iPad and he brings up a image, and it's a picture of you, Silas, with Miranda talking to a horribly burnt man in the lobby. And he turns it around. Are you aware of this man's identity, Mr. Lynch?
He gave a name, yes.
I was quite surprised he was still alive, to be candid. I was unaware he'd sought medical treatment in Spokane as opposed to in Seattle or possibly Portland. His reappearance is rather concerning amongst our mutual colleagues, of course.
You seemed a little bit on edge. What exactly gives you concern, if I may ask?
Well, you must understand our predicament, Mr. Lynch. He is a unsupervised retainer.
Of the Tremere.
Well,
What used to be the Tremere.
one that is fully aware of our organization's existence, dealings, and membership. That makes him a bit of a loose end, I'm afraid, and quite frankly, Mrs. Rigby dislikes such loose ends intensely. They vex her.
Well, I wouldn't want Miss Rigby to be vexed.
That's a lovely tie.
Oh, thank you. I had help. I didn't know if perhaps I was meeting the prince.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I would refuse to even suggest such things. I am merely a associate and servant of the domain of Seattle.
You do understand, of course, if you know so much about us, that we were brought here at the request of William, correct?
Absolutely. I know that quite well.
Have we offended Miss Rigby or the Camarilla in any way being here at this time?
No, not at all. Actually, I think you misunderstand my point. Do you smoke?
I don't anymore. Seem kind of, well, to be honest, pointless at this point for me. But please, enjoy, sir.
Mr. Darcy?
I don't, but no need to accommodate on my account.
So he opens up the box that's sitting there, and it's a black cigarette that he lights it up, and you smell the scent of clove around you. I'm afraid it's one of my last vices.
We all have them, sir. Understood.
No, actually, it is not that you have done anything of offense, Mr. Lynch. Quite the opposite. I am doing a professional courtesy. I am allowing Mr. Guatemoc 24-hour window of opportunity to resolve the matter on behalf of his clan unchallenged, and then I'm afraid I will be required to act on this. Now, whether he chooses to take ownership of this individual or eliminate the risk, I will leave it to his and your better judgment. But I will acknowledge that my method of resolution will be far more conclusive than perhaps what Mr. Guatemoc prefers. However, if you simply prefer I resolve the matter, I do not consider it an inconvenience. It is a task I already have.
I would think that this professional courtesy you've offered would be is appreciated. Now, when you're saying this thing that the matter he has to take care of, if this wayward sheep was brought back into the flock and put back under control of a handler, would that be satisfactory? Or do you think that sheep should be led, to be quite honest, to slaughter?
He would no longer be a loose end.
Either way, he might be valuable still to someone of his clan.
That is why I offer this opportunity to Mr. Guatemoc to take care of matters before, unfortunately, matters must be taken care of. Again, courtesy.
Of course. Mr. Darcy, do you see any problem with discussing this later with Mr. Guatemoc?
No, seems fine.
It is 12:04. I believe 12:04 tomorrow. Then I will be involved.
As a courtesy, might we extend it to 1 tomorrow so we have time to inform Mr. Guatemoc of the situation and he can make his own decision? I don't want to speak on his behalf, and if time is of the essence, it would seem judicious to allow him the chance to respond without being spoken for. Surely
I was
a large difference.
when I was in Morocco many years ago. I did believe in the concept of a fair trade. So what is an hour worth to you?
To me, not much. I have many ahead of me. To Mr. Guatemoc, probably quite a bit.
Actually, I think I do. Pulls the iPad back. Do you know who this woman is? And he turns around on the iPad and it's the image of Rachel. Is this person a friend of yours?
Not of ours. Well, not of mine, at least.
Not of
I
mine,
only saw her briefly.
certain members of our conglomerate.
You don't know her identity, do you? And he's pointing at the iPad again.
Other
All
than-
I know is that, well, please, Gabriel, go on.
Other than some of the after effects of her actions, I'm afraid not.
Is this something we should know, Mr. Vidok?
Well, she's the leader of the Anarchs within this area. Her name is Riot Girl.